riding along. This episode is going to be about how to write a book and fast. And in the spirit of that, let's just jump right in. If you're looking to write a book, if you're new to the channel, you haven't seen this yet, check out writingalong.com. I do offer a completely free guide, 24 pages. It's really how to write your book, especially if you don't know how to get started. I say it in the headline, and it's true. This was written for you. It's going to be a game changer if you go ahead and try it. Check it out. So as far as this episode, it's probably going to be one of the more searched for, the more relatable for a lot of people. You want to write a book and you want to do it quick. You know, you don't have infinite time. You got so much limited time to yourself to begin with. So how do you do it in the most efficient way possible? And to do that, what you're going to have to do is set a very consistent plan and do not deviate from it no matter what. And if you're worried, how am I going to stay motivated to do that? You know, I have a video on writer's motivation, so check that out too. And with that and with your idea in mind, you're going to get your book done pretty quick. It's not something magical, it's just numbers. If you add up enough of them per day, you're just going to get a book. You're going to have enough words to print out in a printed book, not a pamphlet, not just some little leaflet that fell from the sky, but you know, a novel, a memoir, a piece of work that stands out. And what's really the point of this video too is to tell you that you can do it. It's not something that is impossible for you. It's not something that you just got to be lucky to be able to do, or it's only for this super select elite that you know if it's for you, and barely anybody can do it. You know, like no, you can do it. Most people just choose not to. And yes, few people write books, and why is that? What's that? There's always a fork in the road. Everybody wants to write one, so where do they break off? And you get the people who do and the people who don't. The people who do are realistic about it. They're not idealistic about it, because if you are, it just becomes this fleeting passion that burns in up in the air, and it just becomes smoke, and it just disappears before you even really get to see it. And yeah, it was burning pretty intensely before the fire, and it died, but all you're left with are these kind of remnants, and they're useless. If you have a manuscript that's unfinished, are you going to publish your unfinished manuscript? You could, but I don't know if you want to do that. It's just going to be a reminder for yourself that you didn't finish it. And others might be able to see it and tell that too. It's not going to be enough words, and you don't have to fall into that camp is what I'm saying. Yes, few people write books. You don't have to be in that category, in that camp of people who never do. And it doesn't really matter when you start. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter. You know, you might have this obsession like, oh, I got to reach this age. If you're a teenager, you know, you're probably thinking, oh, I got to be this age. You know, a child thinks they can write. It's just this monstrous series, and nothing holds them back. And you kind of do want to tap into that. You do just kind of want to unlimit yourself. The word unlimited is usually used as a, description, you know, like unlimited, but it can be an active word too, and you can apply it to your own thinking with writing. Again, it's nothing that you can't do. And the way you can really write your book really fast is to figure out how many words you want to get. I suggest 40,000. I think 40,000 isn't based on some rule. It's not some law that I've, just read from somewhere, or that I've been told all my life. No, like I've just kind of I've had a lot of books that I've read, that I've had, and at that word count, that's when they really start to feel like it's something real, like it's something that you can show people, like, hey, you know, I've got this book, and you hand it to them, and they're like, oh, cool, you know, this is something. Wow, you know, they'll flip through the pages, like, whoa, this is all. If you wrote it, like, this is all you, like that kind of thing. And that's, I'll say the minimum, but don't treat it like if you hit that and you don't exceed it, that it's like you're a total failure for that. Like, no, that's perfectly good. And it becomes a lot less intimidating when you see it like that. And just divide how fast you want to write your book, how many days you want it to take, and then divide that by your target word count. And pretty much you just get a very strict, very unlying, just truthful. You get the picture, all right? I can use all these repetitive words to describe the same thing, but with every reoccurring word will just be just complete decline in the message of it, which is you got this, all right? Don't treat it like it's this marathon you can't finish. It's you can do it from the comfort of your home. You can be in bed writing, and it's just be easy on yourself, okay? Being very mentally, being a critic sometimes has its benefits with this kind of stuff. Telling yourself, I don't know if I'm capable of this. Really, it stems from deeper things, and it's nothing that can't be overcome. And you don't have to be this wonder to do it. You've just got to be realistic about it. And the reason why most people don't write, again, is not because they didn't have it in them. It's because they didn't realize they could. That might be you. That really might be you. You could just be on the verge of something really great, and you just don't have that semblance of belief because, there aren't many writers talking about it. It's a very personalized experience for the writer that if you hear about it in like an interview or something or written article, it's always very publicized. And, it's articulated with editing in mind. It's edited before it's even spoken, before you even read it. And you never really get the real message, the real feeling of what it's like. It's completely normal to feel like you're not going to finish it, to feel like it's intimidating, it's frightening, and it just seems impossible sometimes. And who do you turn to? Like, who do you ask? Who do you consult about this? You don't just go to your local writers federation consultancy group. Like, that doesn't exist, really. It's not a business in that sense. It's not something that is relatable enough for enough people, and that's why a lot of this content on here is very personal. I'm speaking directly to you, like wherever you're watching this in the world, whatever time you're watching this. I'm not making a generic video for all of YouTube and all of the world. Not like I'm recording it with you in mind. I'm staring at you while I'm speaking to you. I'm reaching you in that way, talking directly to your mind, directly to the very fears that are keeping you and preventing you from writing your book, and from preventing you from thinking you could even do it. And it's all false. It's just things that are holding you back, that they're real. Don't lie to yourself and say, I don't feel those things. If you don't, good for you. Nothing against you. Good for you. But for the most part, the majority of people watching don't know if they can do it. Or if they've done it, they don't know if they can do it again. Maybe they just got lucky the first time, and I don't know, it's just gone, as an ability, as a talent, or it's just this thing like, I'll write it over the years. I'm recording this and producing this in 2022, and don't let that discourage you if you're watching this 10 years from now. Maybe you are, but it doesn't really matter. You don't have to have a span of, like me saying that now. I'll finish my book, or you saying this now. I'll finish my book in the next 10 years. Maybe by then I'll be able to write. I'll have it in me. You and I both know, all right? You don't know that you're going to be around in 10 years. And maybe in you, that's kind of just a way of escaping the goal. Maybe you know that you've subconsciously or very consciously kind of internalized, like, well, that's unpredictable anyways. I could be in a completely different place. I could be incapacitated. I might forget about the dream, and then I won't have any guilt about not actually doing it.
don't set a ridiculous time span like that for yourself. You're not giving yourself enough room to really prosper. You're not really giving yourself enough belief. Belief. I was gonna pivot into the word faith, so they combine. Don't limit your own faith in yourself. And I don't mean like you can jump off a mountain. You jump off a boat into the deep ocean and you'll find your way to land, like that kind of crazy faith, or you'll fly. No, it's not absurd. It's not magical. It's not anything like that. It's just plain and simple. Get this many words onto the page every single day, and it adds up. It really just does. And there's not a lot of complexity to it. And for those of you who really hate complex things, who really thrive on the complexity of simplicity, and I'll do a video on that as well. By the way, doesn't mean your writing has to be ridiculously complex or ridiculously simple either. That's a whole other topic we'll get into. But the message is very, very clear. It's nothing you can really misinterpret unless you really actively try it, where in which you're seeking something that isn't there. You're just creating, and you're, it's again, procrastinating and honestly putting off the fear of accomplishing something. It does. It really comes down to that. And I think a lot of people do need to hear this too. Fear of success is, because this isn't a wellness, this isn't like a productivity channel, it's a writing channel. Yeah, everything comes along, writing along. But if you just explain it away as a fear of success, oh, what if my book succeeds too well, and what's going to change in my life? It's just too much. I don't want to live that life or enter that life. It's not worth what my supreme abilities would return to me in a heart. It's fear of rejection. Fear of success is fear of rejection, plain and simple. Fear of success exists if you say it does. I'm not going to doubt that. I don't want to argue truth with you on a foundation that you're so insistent upon. But if you believe that and that shook you up a bit, let that say something. Let that say enough. All right, let that speak enough to how real and clear this is. Writing a book isn't hard, and you can do it exceptionally fast. You can do it as fast as you want. You can do it in, I say 30 days is like a pretty fast, but I mean, you can do it in 15 days if you really wanted to. If you had 10 days on this earth to write it, would you do it? Probably. Again, this whole speaking to you, you would. Because that's how much it matters to you. Whether you actively think about that all the time or not, what are you watching or writing content, writing channel for? What are you consuming any of this for? That matters. It means something. All right, so write your book because you can, and write it fast if you want. You don't have to write it fast. Those kinds of words like grab viewers and stuff like that. I'm not trying to grab 1 trillion viewers. I just want to grab your attention. And if I did, I'm glad to say I was able to speak with you and have some of your time. It was a great, I don't just consider these talking to you. They're conversations. All right, respond back to me in your mind. Respond back to me in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this, on what's holding you back from writing your book. What are some of the fears that are really deep? Maybe some I didn't mention, or if they did connect but weren't directly said but had some relation, bring them up. Let me know. I'll respond to you. I don't read YouTube comments anywhere else, but I'll read and interact with yours. I'm happy to. I really want to see you become the writer that you were born to be. And check out How to Write a Book in 30 Days, 10-part guide at writingalong.com. Grab your completely free copy. You're going to love it. All right. See you guys around.